also to our city manager, Mr. Lungelo Mbandazayo, who is joining us today to participate in the ceremony as he will read the citations of each of our recipients. Ladies and gentlemen, today is about recognizing the contributions of some truly remarkable people, whether a living person or in memory of someone who has passed away, and to reflect on their achievements and the impact that they have made in our society. You will notice that some of these people have become citizens of the world and may have swapped Cape Town for another home, but we will always recognize their service to Cape Town, and we regard them as one of our own. I would also like to remind you of the categories of civic honors that we will be bestowing this morning. The most prestigious honor the city can bestow is the awarding of the freedom of the city to individuals, military units, or organizations that have distinguished themselves exceptionally and brought global acclaim to Cape Town. Freedom of the city is very rarely awarded, and past recipients include the late President Nelson Mandela and the late Archbishop Emeritus Desmond Tutu. The second highest honor the city can confer is the signing of the Civic Honours book. This is where either a living person or their next of kin, in the case of a posthumous award, signs their name into the Civic Honours book next to a citation of their achievements. Recipients also receive a beautiful hand calligraphied scroll containing the same citation of their achievements. This honor recognizes public service to Cape Town that is exceptionally meritorious or impactful in any field of social, community, or civic interest. These recipients have generally achieved extraordinary acclaim in their chosen field, have won international recognition for their talents or contributions, or distinguished themselves with extraordinary community service. In doing so, many of them have also brought high honor to Cape Town, and we owe them a debt of gratitude as a city community. This morning we are inviting 13 remarkable people or their next of kin to sign the Civic Honours book, and if they choose, to say a few words upon receiving this honor. Then there's a category of civic honours reserved mainly for military units, which is called freedom of entry into the city. When a military unit receives this honor, they may march through our city streets on ceremonial days with swords drawn, bayonets fixed, drums beating, and colors flying. And then there is the Mayor's Medal, which is given to individuals or groups that have made outstanding voluntary contributions to our city in a number of different fields, including community affairs, conservation, cultural affairs, economic affairs, extraordinary bravery, recreation and sport, social affairs and social services, or youth matters. I'm sure that you will agree with me that Cape Town has no shortage of such outstanding and selfless residents, and we are honored to award medals to 10 recipients here in Council today. Ladies and gentlemen, if you glance with me at the list of those signing the Civic Honours book and those receiving Mayor's medals, you will know, and that list confirms, that Capetonians do incredible things and have indeed been doing so for centuries. I want to take a minute to address our recipients and to say how deeply honored we are by the gathering of this remarkable group of South Africans that we have with us here today. It is common for people to say that it's an honor to have you here. It may even be trite, but it is much more than just an honor, ladies and gentlemen. In the face of your collective achievements, all of us can only look on in wonder. All of us who desire to do good in the world, who desire to effect social progress, we are inspired by your examples. We hope to live up to just a shadow of what you have already achieved. In Dubai right now, we read that there is a gathering of world leaders. Some 80,000 of them have descended on Dubai this week. Many of them, I'm sure, may even consider themselves great, and perhaps a few even are. But as they pass the time talking and debating endlessly in the desert sun, here is a group of people, far fewer than 80,000, but here is a group of people whose greatness is indisputable and unmistakable. They do not theorize about changing the world because they have already done it. Consider Justice Albie Sachs, a freedom fighter and champion of justice, hunted brutally by an evil security apparatus who wasted not a minute in recrimination, but devoted himself to building a new democratic and honorable justice system. Consider Athol Fugard. Consider Athol Fugard, who is just a minute or two away, who Time magazine has called the greatest living playwright in the English-speaking world, whose poignant and trenchant work earned him the ire of the apartheid regime, but also the global admiration of millions, including this one. Consider Desiree Ellis, whose life story inspires countless others, instilling the values of perseverance and teamwork within our youth, showing them that no matter where you come from, you can overcome adversity. Consider the simply inimitable Breytenbach, a genius, a creator of transcendent beauty with both pen and brush. He has captured our emotions, forced us to think, and demonstrated again and again that the pen is far mightier than the sword. I have asked Mr. Breytenbach if he would honor us today by sharing a short poem, and he has graciously agreed to do so. Consider the most remarkable champion of humanity, Dr. Imtiaz Sooliman. Excuse me. Consider Dr. Sooliman, whose efforts have uplifted the marginalized, brought comfort to those suffering and hope to those in need, never once asking who they are, what they believe in, or where they come from, but serving first and only because they are fellow human beings. Consider the wonderful Pieter-Dirk Uys, another genius of the pen, who has lampooned the powerful and humbled the mighty for decades by showing up all of their absurdities and by allowing an often troubled and tragic nation to preserve its sense of humor. Thank you. Consider our Archbishop, Thabo. For whom we pray, and who reminds us that the essence of all faith is love and service. Ladies and gentlemen, I could go on. Some have made immense contributions to very specific local communities and causes, such as the preservation of a beautiful botanic garden, or the restoration of a historic landmark, while others have shone on the world's biggest music and drama stages. We have sports stars who have dazzled both here at home and around the world. We have legends of the stage and stars of the screen. We have poets, peace brokers, humanitarians, fighters for justice, defenders of democracy. We have so many heroes, war heroes, hunger heroes, anti-litter heroes, corruption-busting heroes, and firefighting heroes. In short, ladies and gentlemen, we are truly blessed today. We are blessed with the presence and the memory of some of our city's greatest citizens, people who have sacrificed so much or used their remarkable talent to make our city and our world a better place. We express our deepest admiration and gratitude to them all. While these kinds of people never do things for recognition, they never ever do things for recognition, we think it is fitting today that our city pauses to recognize them and say, thank you. Thank you for keeping our democracy strong. Thank you for fighting tyranny. Thank you for campaigning for justice. Thank you for mocking the powerful. Thank you for devoting your life to protecting the vulnerable. Thank you for caring so deeply about a singular cause that you have sacrificed personally to make a lasting difference. Thank you for dazzling us, entertaining us with a lifetime of your art, your skills, and your wonderful stories. We will never forget you. Not only because your name is now literally forever recorded in our book, but because you have made a lasting impression through your deeds. People remember their heroes forever, and each one of you is a hero. To all of our recipients today, please accept my own gratitude. And as the Mayor of the City of Cape Town, I convey to you the gratitude of the people of the Mother City. Thank you very much.
Mr. Mayor. Thank you. We will now proceed with the conferring of the Civic Honours Awards and the signing of the Civic Honours book. Council bestows this honour upon a living person or in memory of a deceased person who is or was a citizen of Cape Town and who deserves recognition for his or her lengthy and purposeful public service to the City of Cape Town in any field of social, community or civil interest. We will now proceed with the ceremony. City Manager, will you please step forward to read the commendation for the first recipient, Albie Sachs.
Sorry.
No.
I'm not from Cape Town.
Thank you. City Manager.
Thank you, Speaker. Good morning, councillors and honoured guests. The first recipient, Justice Albie Sachs, lawyer, activist, and former Constitutional Court Justice. Few people made a bigger contribution to our country's transition to democracy than Justice Sachs. He spent a long career, first as an attorney and later as a founding judge of our Constitutional Court, in service of justice and in defense of victims of apartheid. Not even after a bomb planted by apartheid state security agent took his arm and his sight in his right eye, could he be deterred from his mission to help secure a peaceful transition to a free and a non-racial South Africa. The City of Cape Town is proud to confer civic honours on Justice Albie Sachs.
Thank you, Justice Sachs. You may now proceed.
Yes, I'm happy to see that the rogues of yesteryear are the righteous of today. I think some of us were happier being rogues than we are being righteous. Mr. Mayor, the last time I got an honour from the Mayor, it took the form of a kiss. I'm not asking for repetition. It was Mayor Patricia Salkers, and it acknowledged my special connection to Cape Town. I was locked up in Maitland prison, I was locked up in Wynberg prison, and I was locked up in Caledon Square. Thank you, Cape Town. But it also illustrated the huge contradictions, because on being released from Caledon Square after 168 days solitary confinement, I ran to the sea to Clifton, that beautiful, wonderful Cape Town. And it was the 40th anniversary of that run that got me the kiss from Patricia Salkis. And we are a beautiful city. We have a beautiful city in a tormented city. The torment then was total and overwhelming. The beauty was hidden. Now the beauty is beginning to emerge, but there's still far too much torment. And everybody here, you are the generation now that has to reduce the amount of torment and increase the amount of beauty. Thank you.
I just want to pay tribute to our exceptional calligrapher who has produced these beautiful certificates for each person recipient today. This is hand done and has taken months to do, and you will receive this, Justice.
Before we proceed, we're just going to allow Athol Fugard an opportunity to join the other recipients.
The greatest South African Test cricketer to have never played for South Africa, Basil de Oliveira. From St. Augustine Cricket Club in Elfindale, and denied the opportunity to play cricket for South Africa of his race. Basil de Oliveira swapped Cape Town for Worcestershire in England in 1960 and went on to carve out a glittering cricket career for both his country and his adopted country. Initially dropped from the England team to tour South Africa in 1968 for political reasons, he was reinstated after a massive public outcry, leading to the tour being cancelled by the apartheid government and South African cricket being isolated for the next 22 years. The city of Cape Town is proud to confer civic honours on the late Basil de Oliveira.
Thank you, Mr. Graham. Washington, you step forward to sign civic honours book and receive the award on behalf of Mr. de Oliveira. Thank you. Mr. Brasher, you now have an opportunity to address the council if you wish.
Good morning, everybody. My name is Graham Broche. Just a brief to give some context to my relationship with the de Oliveira family. My late father, Frank Broche, his sister Naomi, was married to Basil. So I'm here to represent the de Oliveira family. Basil's remaining son, Sean, just send me a message if I could convey to everybody. I wish to take the opportunity to thank the City of Cape Town for awarding my late father, Basil de Oliveira, with the Civic Honours Award. I know without a shadow of a doubt that my dad would have been proud and appreciative of this honour. In the early 1960s, he left the shores of Cape Town to expand his opportunity to play his beloved sport, cricket, and to test himself against the very best players in the world. He was fortunate to eventually find the beautiful city of Worcester in England, where he set up home for us. But to be honest, Cape Town always remained his true home. He returned to Cape Town whenever he had the opportunity, would always visit the site of his family home on the Signal Hill area, the Greenpoint Track and Newlands Cricket Ground. If Dad was still with us, I know nothing would have stopped him coming to Cape Town to receive this award. On behalf of my family here in England and some family in South Africa, and there's a family member in Los Angeles, I send my utmost thanks and gratitude for remembering my father and what he stood for, and for considering him with this wonderful award. Just trust you all have an enjoyable morning. Regards, Sean de Oliveira.
Mr. City Manager, you will now proceed to read the commendation for the next recipient, Ben Rabinowitz.
Social justice advocate and philanthropist, Ben Rabinowitz. Sometimes the biggest advocates for justice and the biggest supporters of principled causes are people who operate below the radar. Ben Rabinowitz was such a man, a generous philanthropist and a staunch defender of democracy, human rights, a free press, and the environment. Ben never sought recognition for his work. He passed away in May of this year, leaving behind an enormous legacy of generosity and civic duty. The City of Cape Town is proud to confer civic honours on the late Ben Rabinowitz.
To address the council.
Thank you so much for honouring our father here today. There were a lot of things that my father hated, like wearing socks and sloppy white fish. But there was one thing that he definitely loved, and that was Cape Town. It was his home. He grew up in Belleville. He believed that the opportunities he had had made him very stealthily, without a lot of people knowing what he was doing, help other people to realize their opportunities. The Cape Philharmonic Orchestra, the Mail and Guardian newspaper, the Muslim graves at Odekra. But I think for him, his crowning glory was to save the Sea Point beachfront from all development. He truly believed that that was the one democratic space in Cape Town that should be and is available to anybody from any colour, creed, religion, walk of life to enjoy that. And that was his biggest achievement, So on behalf of my sister and my niece, sitting up there, thank you so much for conferring this wonderful honor on him. Thank you.
Mr. City Manager, you may now proceed to read the commendation for the next recipient, Brenda Fassie.
The Queen of African Pop and Mabri, to her many fans, Brenda Fassie. For more than just a singer and a songwriter, Brenda Fassie was an icon of her time and our first true pop supporter, superstar. Her unique talent for capturing township life in song took her from humble beginnings in Langa to stages around the world, earning her multiple platinum albums and numerous music awards along the way. The city of Cape Town is proud to confer civic honors on the late Brenda Fassie.
Mrs. Fassie, would you like to come and address the council? Councillors, please. Councillors.
Yeah. I would like to greet everybody here, starting with the mayor and his wonderful team, and all the distinguished guests. Unfortunately, I wanted to make a speech. I had to scribble something as I was sitting there. Believe me, it won't take long. Mr. Mayor, I'm not sure if this is the right platform. But again, kindly allow me to say my piece. My family and I are at pains that as much as Mabri, as she was affectionately known, as much as she contributed towards arts in this country, she was not, and I say not, she has not been celebrated as much as we anticipated. That is my family and I. But hey, I guess that's how the cookie crumbles, hey?
Yes.
Yeah. I hope the people of the Cape, through my honorable mayor and his beautiful team, Louis, may somewhat find common ground for my family and I to realize our quest. Okay, one more thing. Mabri was such a masterpiece of illumination and grace, transforming our understanding of life through lyric. The courage and prowess to remember who we are, all of us, in the tradition of great icons, past and living, to celebrate the luminous human spirit. Few have caught the inexplicable strengths of Africa. The crookedness, the sweetness, as well as my brain. I thank you.
Thank you. Mr. City Manager, can you come forward and proceed to read the commendation for the next recipient, AG Sailor Malan?
World War II fighter pilot hero and anti-apartheid activist, AG Sailor Malan. Largely written out of history by the National Party due to his opposition to apartheid, Sailor Malan was a true hero of World War II, serving as a decorated fighter pilot in the Royal Air Force and leading a squadron in the infamous Battle of Breyten. Upon his return from the war, he was an outspoken critic of the newly introduced system of apartheid, joining the liberal anti-apartheid protest movement, the Torch Commando, and staging many large protest marches. He passed away in September of 1963 at the age of 53. The city of Cape Town is proud to confer civic honours on the late AG Sailor Malan.
Thank you very much. Dr. Malan.
Mayor Lewis, councillors, honourable guests, today is the first time that Sailor Malan is officially honoured in the country of his birth. As President John F. Kennedy pointed out, a nation reveals itself not only by the men it produces, but also by the men it honours, the men it remembers. My heartfelt thanks to the Mayor and the City of Cape Town. Sailor Malan was an ordinary man who found himself in the arena, from the Battle of Breyten to the fight against apartheid. The motto of his beloved 7-4 squadron was, "I fear no man." These words were, in many ways, his true north. He was reserved and soft-spoken, but he was also fearless in the cause of justice and unfailing in daily kindness. The golden thread that runs through his life was a moral compass that pointed true north, and the character and the courage to follow it, despite the risks and the consequences. He fought against fascism in Europe and in the country of his birth with unwavering courage. He never did so for personal gain or glory. He did it so others may live. He was a member of the greatest generation, and I hope this award will lead to more efforts to honour South Africa's World War heroes. We owe them so much. Sailor Malan was one of the few who fought in the Battle of Breyten, but he was also one of the few in a different sense. That rare breed of individual who will stand against injustice, no matter the price, regardless of the danger. True courage is not an impulsive act. It is deliberate and sustained. It is a choice made and a course kept, despite the odds. It is a course that Sailor Malan kept his entire life. His life is one of the most profound examples of the importance of courage and, above all, character. May his example inspire us all. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you, Mr. City Manager. You may now proceed to read the commendation for the next recipient, Desiree Ellis.
Former South African soccer star and captain and current national team coach, Desiree Ellis. After the recent success of Banyana Banyana at the FIFA Women's World Cup, Coach Desiree Ellis needs no introduction. But her many years as captain of the national team are equally impressive. She led Banyana Banyana to a Women's African Cup of Nations final in 2000 as well as victory in the inaugural COSAFA Women's Cup in 2002. And as coach, she finally lifted South Africa's first ever Women's Africa Cup of Nations trophy in 2022. The city of Cape Town is proud to confer civic honors on Desiree Ellis.
Good morning, everyone. When I was sitting over there, I was wondering whether I'd be able to see over the podium, and I can. Mr. Mayor, councillors, honoured guests, I'm truly humbled and blessed to be receiving this civic award, not only on behalf of myself. I work in a team environment, so it's on behalf of Banyana players, the staff, and all women in sport, because we raise the... We have to continuously raise the profile of women in sport because we are marginalized. And every time we do extraordinary things, we open up doors for others. To my wonderful family who don't always attend events that I'm at, my mother's here. I think this is the second time she comes to an event. My sister and brother and my good friend Berenice from the club that I played or belonged to for 30 years is also here in attendance. But we as Banyana, we thank you very much. We thank you for allowing us to go out there and be good ambassadors for the country. We thank you very much also for allowing us to give hope to the country. I know you were sitting during load shedding in front of your TVs, little screens, in front of your laptops, on your phones, cheering us on. And we felt the praise and we saw the messages. So thank you very much for supporting us. And to all the women in sport, this is for you. Thank you.
We may now proceed to read the commendation for the next recipient, Breytenbach.
Afrikaans poet, painter, and former political prisoner, Breytenbach. Often described as one of the greatest living Afrikaans poets, Breytenbach left South Africa for France in 1960 due to his outspoken defiance of the apartheid government. When he did return in 1975, he was arrested, charged with high treason, and sentenced to 9 years in prison. He served 7 years, the first 2 in solitary confinement. His groundbreaking poetry and prose have won him numerous prestigious accolades and cemented his place in South Africa's literary history. The city of Cape Town is proud to confer civic honors on Breytenbach.
Thank you. If you wish to come and address us, please.
I should have chosen, or I should have asked my parents to choose a shorter name. I get to think about it every time when I have to sign a document. But I notice there are quite a few left-handed people among us here today. It's good to, for once, to be in a majority, as it were. Mr. Mayor, City Councillors, people of Cape Town, it's indeed a humbling experience to be in this, I would say, in this very lively and very well-weathered company. I salute all of you. But I also know there are any number of citizens out there who deserve as much to be noted, remembered, celebrated. And I'm not even talking of our predecessors who individually and collectively left their mark from way back, from the strandlopers and settlers and exile and craftsmen on to haphazardly, name only a few from the field I'm familiar with, Jan Rabie, Ingrid Jonker, Van Zyl Slabbert, Neville Alexander, Irma Stern, Ima Maroon, Dulcie September, Martinus Versveld, Peter Clark, Robert Zebukwi, Lippie Lipschitz, Marjorie Wallace, Uyskrieger, and of course one can go on and on and on. This is the riches of Cape Town. All of those who came to impart, both to garner and to bequeath a contribution. Fate brought them to the shebeen of the seas. Hope and needs and dreams, and some came in fear of their lives to go to prison or to die. They came, they left, they returned. We honor them and all the other moeders and other fathers who always come back to Mother City. This Cape of Good Hope and the storms is a catalyst and enabler of Africa's way forward, with integrity, ethical imagination, and a profound respect of our differences, reciprocally and collectively. I think one can say that you are actively promoting the spaces where our diversity can be the greater force. May people continue to meet thus in the transformational processes of mutual acceptance and respect. At a time when the major threats to our very existence are posed urgently, our approach to survival will shape the way we coexist. And these, Mr. Mayor, are not just symbolic gestures. You are investing in the search for values, perhaps in a recognition of experience. Whether experience implies wisdom, however, that of course is another matter. Still, the struggle for decency and social justice also bestows on Cape Town's protagonists the moral mentorship of a given responsibility. Lord Mayor, Mr. Mayor, you are young, very young still. In fact, you could have been my son, or you could have been our son. And yet, the people of this capital are not mistaken when they entrust you with the enormous, but also the noble mission of harvesting commitment to our common well-being. I believe you and the other members, the representatives and councillors here, have no choice but to continue giving life to the pragmatic utopia of making this city live and work for all the citizens. Our past wounds and glories crave this, our present demands this, and there can be no future without it. I've also gave in to my weakness of not being able to try and write a poem to the city of Cape Town, to all of you here, to the wonderful community of people here. I call it the Palimpsest van Reise. And when I was doing this yesterday, I came across a note, a little quote that I want to share with you. I think still is a posit. It's from Albert Camus in his letters to a German friend. He wrote, it was during the occupation, he says, I should like to be able to love my country and still love justice. That's important. Witbok stoot vir die soeveelste keer haar hart weldadig uit op Tafelberg. Wat op aarde of in die hemel sou sy na al die seisoene nog kon kry om te belê, wat 'n verskil mag maak aan vreugdedanse van weleer, van sononders en sondes gepleeg keer op keer. Ons stel weer ver verby oneindigheid, 'n altyd herhaalde ritueel om die klietjie gelyk te stryk vir die skille van 'n laaste maal, wanneer ou verskille soos klaagliedere in die seesere tye verspoel en ons almal dopelinge is? Wat is dit wat ons nie wil weet met die insig van 'n versreël wat sigself in die lig vergeet het? Wat bly dan agter om soet die vans lewenspyn te laat gaan asof dit nooit bestaan het nie? Is dit dan slegs die holle geheue aan aanwesigheid wat die tong so laat soek na syllabes om die skryfgang ons woorddrifte te ontbloot, sodat kikvors in die sloot van denke die vas immer herhaalde insaak kan besleg? Verganklikheid is geboortereg. Tereg. Dis juist daarom dat ons om die droom bly veg wat hier iets verstaan het van saam mekaar anders maak. Baie dankie.
City Manager, can you now proceed to read the recommendation for the next recipient, Dr. Imtiaz Sooliman.
Humanitarian and founder of Gift of the Givers, Dr. Imtiaz Sooliman. Swapping a promising career in medicine for 4 decades ago for a lifelong pursuit of service through humanitarian relief, Dr. Sooliman and his NGO, Gift of the Givers, have become a household names in South Africa and throughout the world. Spearheading 30 relief missions in 45 countries and dispensing aid to the value of more than 4.5 billion. At the last count, he has touched lives of millions through his selfless service. From earthquakes in Haiti to wars in Syria and Yemen, to floods and fires in townships across South Africa, Gift of the Givers are often the first on the scene and the last to leave. The city of Cape Town is proud to confer civic honours to Dr. Sooliman.
Thank you, everyone. Thank you, City of Cape Town, for nominating me for this award. I'm not from Cape Town. Never lived here, never been here, except to serve. But my wife is from Cape Town, so 50% me there. Thank you, Mr. Mayor. We've shared many platforms together. Good friend, thank you very much. All the councillors here from all the political parties, thank you very much for nominating me. And of course, all the other recipients. You know, we've got a wealth of talent, of people of great service, and this is the indomitable spirit of South Africa. Those that are here and those that are not here, people who love to serve this country, and that's what we need, patriots. We need to stop complaining about our country. We need to stop running each other down. We need to stand up and serve this not a failed state. This is a state of great people wanting to do great things. Take the egos and dump it. Take off the labels, take off the political parties, take off the badges. We are all South African. We stand as South African. We serve as South African. We are true patriots and we serve this country in the interest of all the people who need us. I'll be doing a great injustice if I don't recognize my family, my wives, my kids, my children, my grandchildren. It's been 31 years of hard service. And they've sacrificed a lot. But of course, I can't forget those people on the top. You see, I'm in management. I'm the face. They are the workers. On Christmas Day, Eid Day, New Year's Day, if you need them, they come out. 365 days a year, there is no issue. They don't work for a salary. They work because they're committed to the human cause. Ladies and gentlemen, political parties, we've got a serious job to do. We have a country to fix, and we need to do this together as South Africans. Thank you very much.
Mr. City Manager, you may now proceed to read the commendation for the next recipient, Jonathan Butler.
Acclaimed singer, songwriter, guitarist, and global music star, Jonathan Butler. Until Jonathan Butler broke onto the local music scene in the 1970s, it was unheard of for a black artist to be played on a white radio station in South Africa. But his universal appeal and his undeniable talent shattered that taboo when his very first single from his first album received airplay across the board. Since then, he has put together an incredible music career over half a century, spanning 27 studio albums and including 2 Grammy nominations. He may be a global superstar, but to us, he will always be a Capetonian from Belgravia Road, Athol, shining on the world's biggest stage. The city of Cape Town is proud to confer Civic Honours on Jonathan Butler.
Thank you. We are unable to attend the ceremony today, but as posted a video message, we will now play.
Cape Town, South Africa, the mother city, I want to thank you today for this incredible honor. I'm very humbled. I want to say thank you to the Mayor, Mayor Jordan. Thank you for your support to the nation, to my country, to everybody, all the Capetonians from Joburg, all the way throughout Africa. Thank you so much for this prestigious award, and to all the recipients, I say congratulations from the bottom of my heart. I will treasure it forever. Truly, son of the soil, I love you guys so much. Thank you for the support.
Manager, you may now proceed to read the commendation for the next recipient, Pieter-Dirk Uys.
Political satirist, playwright, and HIV and AIDS educator, Pieter-Dirk Uys. To many, he will always be a Victor Bezedeno, the former ambassadress to the fictitious homeland of Papeti Kowesweti. But Pieter-Dirk Uys's talents and achievements in theater transcends even Tani Evita. Throughout his early career, he used his sharp wit and disarming charm to lampoon the National Party government and poke holes in the absurdity of apartheid. Since our transition to democracy, he has continued his work as a political satirist, but has also added HIV/AIDS educator to his impressive list of achievements. The city of Cape Town is proud to confer civic honors on Pieter-Dirk Uys.
Mr. Ash, you may come and address the council.
This is a nice theatre, we must talk. I want to share with you something I wrote in 1976. I was on Signal Hill looking at the view. And I also must just warn sensitive listeners that a local accent will be used. She's still the oldest tart in Africa, sitting at the rocky end of an ancient continent, cooling her knobbly, tired old feet in the hot and cold of two oceans, while cradling her aging baby gently in her lap. Her weather-beaten smile is cracked by time, and yet her craggy granite face has defied description on palette and paper through the centuries. She has never been young, and hopefully she will not be allowed to die completely. Just a little death every now and then, to bring her smartly back into line and to show her who really is the boss. She pretends to be disciplined and even cries a little too, but then her breath roars across beaches and concrete, whirling scraps of daily life round corners, legs and poles, cleaning the air and driving the people even madder. And when she stamps her foot in frustrated anger, huffs and puffs and blows the trees down, people ask her forgiveness for being careless and spoiling her legendary beauty. Then, old pro that she has been through the ages, she tucks away her scowl for another rainy day and allows her bruised slaves to pick themselves up, dust themselves off, and start all over again. Cape Town, you old bitch. District 6 gets more barren as the bastions of yesterday's charm crash to the ground. Hanover Street is just a sad skeleton of once was Champs-Élysées of die Goeie Ou Kaap, now joining the ghosts of the Alhambra Theatre, the Old Pier, and the long demolished railway station, all huddled together in a raging southeaster, feeling lost and forgotten. And where have all the real people gone? To new places far away with heroic names like Mannenberg and Mitchell's Plain and Atlantis and Lewistown and Q Town and who town? Cape Town. Old Mother City, petty gossip, vicious troublemaker with your sanctimonious facade of history and liberalism, pickpocket, trollop, Scully of the South, slut, diseased old verkrampte with your cultural halitosis and your broken nose in the air. Hey, toothless old vampire, I love you.
Thank you, City Manager. You may now proceed to read the commendation for the next recipient, Krotoa.
Teenage interpreter and peace broker between the Khoi and the Dutch in the 17th century, Krotoa. Born at the Cape in 1643, 9 years before the arrival of Jan van Riebeeck, Krotoa was taken from the care of her uncle, Awuchumato, and placed into the Van Riebeeck household as a servant at the age of only 11. Her remarkable language skills soon saw her take up the role of translator and negotiator between the Dutch and the Khoi. Thrust into the world of dishonorable men when she was only a child and given the impossible burden of negotiating the chasm between two cultures, she played a significant role in shaping our country and our city more than 350 years ago. The city of Cape Town is proud to confer civic honours on the late Krotoa.
The city will be making the necessary arrangements to hand over this award to the Zico National Museum. Mr. City Manager, you may now proceed to read the commendation for the next recipient, Archbishop Thabo.
Social, education, and climate justice activist, and Archbishop of Cape Town, Dr. Thabo Makgoba. In 2000, at the age of 47, he became the youngest ever Archbishop of Cape Town. Since then, Dr. Makgoba has made a name not only as a well-respected figure in the Anglican Church, but also as an advocate for social, education, and climate justice. He boasts an impressive academic CV that includes a BSc, a diploma in theology, a BA honors in applied psychology, an MEd in educational psychology, and PhD in business administration. Yes. He is also a principled, patriotic, outspoken citizen of South Africa, regularly taking the public stand against the abuse of power and corruption. The city of Cape Town is proud to confer civic honors on His Grace Archbishop.
Archbishop, you may now address the council.
Thank you very much, City of Cape Town. Thank you, Mayor. Thank you, councillors. Let me also acknowledge my fellow recipients. It is indeed an honor to receive this recognition, and I humbly receive it on behalf of the many South Africans who are on the edge. Many people in the continent who are on the edge, and South Africa always never failed to amaze me. That, as we're sharing it at an age just before this ceremony, that we will all get to the edge, and when we think we are all going to fall into a ditch, a leader or leaders are birthed, and we all sigh a big relief that we never fell into the ditch. So it is my prayer that as I receive this award on behalf of the many in the margins of society who are excluded educationally, socially, and as I receive this award on behalf of creation which is groaning, that we will recommit ourselves to make South Africa, Cape Town, a better, caring, and a loving community. On behalf of my wife, my friends there, and my GP, I want to say thank you very much.
Thank you. Mr. City Manager, you may now proceed to read the commendation for Athol Fugard.
legendary South African playwright Athol, Fugard, considered South Africa's greatest ever playwright. Athol Fugard's incredible career has seen him write nearly 40 plays over more than half a century. His remarkable gift for storytelling on stage, largely shaped by the events of apartheid South Africa, put a spotlight on the injustice on our country for audiences around the world. The city of Cape Town is proud to confer civic honours on Athol Fugard.
Mr. Fugard, you may now address council.
I'm quite overwhelmed by the situation.
We're just switching on the mic.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm overwhelmed by the situation, and fortunately, I have a beautiful wife and am now the proud father of a little baby boy, a little baby girl. Yeah, I get them all mixed up. That's understandable. This is truly an overwhelming situation. You know, my wife and I lead a very private life in Stellenbosch, where we are very happily situated. And this is overwhelming.
Good afternoon. Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. I'm going to read something from Athol's play, Statements After an Arrest under the Immorality Act, which he wrote in 1972, as he was grappling with a society that could tell you who to love based on the color of your skin. And I'm choking up, so if everyone just laughs a bit, then I can thank you. If they take away your eyes, you can't see. If they take away your tongue, you can't taste. If they take away your hands, you can't feel. If they take away your nose, you can't smell. If they take away your ears, you can't hear. I can see, I can taste, I can feel, I can smell, I can hear. I can't love. I must understand it. If they take away your legs, you can't walk. If they take away your arms, you can't work. If they take away your head, you can't think. I can walk, I can work, I can think. I can't love. I must understand it. When you are hungry, you eat. When you are thirsty, you drink. When you are tired, you sleep. I will eat, I will drink, I will sleep. I won't love. I must understand it again. If they take away your soul, you can't go to heaven. I can go to heaven. I can't love. And then I'm running very fast from everything, but especially God, because he mustn't know. But the street doesn't work anymore. Because when I reach the end where the stones and the darkness should start, the light goes on, and I come out of the back door of the library, and I've got to start running again. But I can't run very fast. My hands get in the way because I don't want them to see. So I'm crawling instead, and she's not surprised. Nobody is surprised. They still greet me, but I know you see. An arm without a hand, a leg without a foot, a head without a body, a man without his name. And I'm terribly frightened they will find out, that the dogs will tell them because they can see. And then I'm sitting just past the lamppost where my shadow always turns into the night, and she asks me, "What do you want?" I don't know. Yes, you do. Everything. You can't have it. Choose. I can't. You're a coward. I know. You realize it's useless. Yes. What will you do if they find out about us? I don't know, so she tells me. Nothing. You do nothing. They do it all. Trust them. They know what to do. They find you. They put on the light. They take the picture. They take your name and they take you. They take your belt and they tie your shoelaces. They lock the door. They will ask the questions. They will find you, and then as at the beginning, they will find you guilty. That frightens me. I get up and I start running, and I can't understand why she doesn't call me back, because I'm only running home. And then I'm in Bonterug, and the dogs don't bark at me, they laugh. And they're all standing up and walking around on their back legs to show me theirs. And then I reach my house, but I don't find anyone there, only God waiting in the dark. And now I'm too tired to run away anymore. I just think he must have driven there by car, because otherwise, how could he have got there before me? He lives in the town. And it's a court case that on the night of January the 12th, 1966, I, who had been made in his image, did lose a part of me. They did it, I say. They dug a hole and buried it. Ask the dogs. And then Frida comes in to give evidence. It's very dark. God shines a torch to see what she looks like. Did she have it? He asks her. Yes, she says. And then he asks me, why did you let them do it? So I tell God I don't smoke and I don't drink and I know the price of bread. But he says it makes no difference. And he wants back what is left. And then I start to give him the other parts. I give him my feet and my legs. I give him my head and my body. I give him my arms until at last there's nothing left. Just my hands. And they're empty. But he takes them back too. And then there's only emptiness left. But he doesn't want that. Because it's me. It's all that is left of me. They arrested all the same. Now I'm here. There's nothing here. They cannot interfere with God anymore. Thank you.
That brings us to the end of this first segment. And before we proceed with the Mayor Medals Awards, I'm going to ask the officials to kindly lead the Civic Honours recipients back to their seats behind the podium to enable the Mayor's Medals recipients to take up their seats.
We can do it from here.
Thank you.